Hello once again. So this is going to be a longer type video, but explaining my peak detector and also explaining my amplifier for my low pass and high pass filters. So we have the same section from section 1 with the potentiometer and everything like that. But now what we're going to do is we're going to expand it. So we have two different op amps with a high pass and a low pass filter, or yeah, high pass, low pass, where we have the output of this op amp into a parallel circuit where one goes to the high pass, one goes to the low pass. The low pass goes from the resistor, and then it'll go to ground with the capacitor that I had, which is 1 microfarad. And this will amplify all low frequencies below my cutoff frequency that I set. I think I set it at 400 and something like that. So anything that's below that, it will perfectly align with the low pass frequencies, and vice versa, where I start with my capacitor and then going into a parallel resistor, going into my high pass filter, where it will correctly align with above, I think it was 2,500 2,500 hertz. So this will all go down into here. And then down here, what we're doing is oh, my fault. So we're going to a diode, and what this diode does is once it turns on, which it needs at least 0.7 volts of a forward voltage. So what I did was to calculate what it would be needed as in order to get past the, I set it to 1 volt. So I was able to get this, so I was able to use a diode, where that diode is using into a very small capacitor. This very small capacitor is important when measuring because this is what is actually filtering the audio signal so that we can get a nice smooth wave. So for example, here's my wave right here. So if I run it, this is with a high pass. So when I run it, it's pretty close to 1, even when you see in the peak to peak. So it's about 1. And then when I adjust the potentiometer, this is already at 10%. So when I turn it, it should grow higher. Boom, all the way up there. So now it's all the way up to almost 2, but because we have a 20% volume threshold for our gain, it doesn't go past that 2, which is shown correctly on this hardware design. One thing I also forgot to point out, because this is my high pass filter, what I'm doing is I'm measuring the high pass for the capacitor. So this is the positive, this is the negative end, and also I'm measuring the output voltage from the op amp, from the potentiometer, before the diode enters in. So that should explain why it's pretty close.